Fire in the Sky blurs the line between fact and fiction, crafting a chilling adaptation of America's most renowned alien abduction case. Let's dive into the eerie story of Travis Walton's alleged 1975 alien abduction and examine what Fire in the Sky gets right, the film's major changes, and the one new detail about Travis's story that will change how you think about this movie. Released in March of 1993, Fire in the Sky is a horror biopic directed by Robert Lieberman based on Travis Walton's 1978 book, The Walton Experience. The story was adapted by Tracy Torme, who had just penned the script for the 1992 alien abduction miniseries, Intruders. In 1975, Snowflake, Arizona resident Travis Walton was among a group of loggers working a job in the very remote Apache Sitgreaves National Forests. Driving home one night, Travis and his co-workers spot a mysterious red light emanating from deeper in the woods. Thinking it may be a forest fire, they venture toward the light. It's a choice they'll soon regret. Expecting to see a raging fire, the men are shocked to find a glowing UFO floating low in a clearing. Travis instinctively leaps out of the truck for a closer look as his colleagues scream for him to get back inside. Suddenly, the hovering craft emits a blinding white light, striking Travis and hurtling his unconscious body to the ground. Thinking aliens killed Travis, the loggers speed off towards safety, but Travis's best friend Mike can't leave his buddy behind. Mike summons the courage to go back and save his friend, only to discover both Travis and the UFO have disappeared. The frantic men return to town to notify the authorities, but no one believes their account. Making matters worse, the townsfolk assume the loggers made up their story as a cover for killing Travis. 5 days later, Travis returns, naked, malnourished, and traumatized, and even though Mike and his crew are off the hook for his murder, they're forever haunted by their otherworldly encounter. If you've never heard about Travis's claims, Fire in the Sky does a solid job of retelling his story, for the most part. It's a mostly accurate recounting of how events unfolded with some minor changes. There were 7 loggers, not 5, and everyone in the truck went back for Travis, not just Mike. But the movie gets the main points correct, like the men being subjected to lie detector tests, which none of them failed, although there was one inconclusive reading. Where the film departs from what's on the record is its depiction of Travis's time on board the alien craft. Travis says he only recalls a few minutes of his encounter. He claims to have woken up in a panic on a table surrounded by short, non-human beings with emotionless faces. After freaking out and striking at the creatures, they left the room. Then, a human-looking being with a glass helmet walked in and escorted Travis out of the craft, where he soon lost consciousness. Travis's recollection of what happened on the craft didn't align with the studio's vision for the movie, so Lieberman had to up the ante in order to terrify the audience, and that meant taking some liberties with Travis's story. Lieberman compared Fire in the Sky to Communion, which had debuted 4 years prior, and wanted to improve on the poor visual effects that didn't quite work in that film, such as the alien costumes and the puppetry. Communion's aliens felt phony, like rubber props and little people in costumes, so Lieberman strove to create truly alien-looking creatures with small proportions that a human being couldn't fit inside. That meant engineering sophisticated puppets with mechanized facial features. Lieberman also wanted to depict a zero-G environment because UFO movies often ignored that aspect of space travel. The end results paid off in spades. The tense 10-minute flashback inside the UFO is the film's best sequence by far. The cold and methodic aliens treat Travis like a helpless lab rat. They pin him down, suffocate him, and drive a massive needle straight into his eyeball with no regard for his well-being. This horrifying sequence is pure nightmare fuel and scarred a whole generation of viewers. Fire in the Sky's version of events on the UFO isn't true to Travis's claims, but it makes for a better movie. For Travis's actual account, I recommend Jennifer Stein's 2015 documentary, Travis: The True Story of Travis Walton. You can also watch Walton's January 2021 appearance on The Joe Rogan Experience, where he discusses his famous case as well as the other paranormal encounters he experienced throughout his life. Fire in the Sky's biggest issue is that it never figures out what to do with the blue-collar folks at the heart of this high-concept film. It's 85% biopic and 15% sci-fi movie, and the script puts Travis on the back burner while it focuses on the tension in Snowflake between the UFO experiencers and the skeptical townsfolk. The problem, however, is Fire in the Sky doesn't wrap up the lead character's emotional journeys in a satisfying way. Mike and Travis don't resolve their ontological shock. Instead, at the height of the chaos in their lives, the film just flashes forward 2 years for a final conversation between the two men. The choice robs the viewers of the big moments of emotional catharsis these traumatized characters deserve. Fire in the Sky Sky failed to capture the world's imagination when it debuted in 1993. The film made almost $20 million at the domestic box office, and it received mixed reviews from critics. Fire in the Sky's shocking abduction sequence is still discussed today among sci-fi and horror fans, but the film never gained a foothold in pop culture. But Travis's story remains a legendary part of UFO mythology, and a competent remake could capture the imagination of a new generation of viewers. But the single biggest reason a remake needs to happen is that the Fire in the Sky movie ignores the most important detail in Travis's story. Although Travis's story hasn't changed in 50 years, his perspective has. Whereas Fire in the Sky depicts his UFO encounter as predatory, Travis now says the beings had benign intentions. He believes the UFO blast that knocked him out was an accident and it would have killed him had the aliens not taken him on board to save his life. And that one detail forces us to consider this story in a whole new light. It means the film's harrowing version of Travis's abduction comes across as misleading and exploitative. Suddenly, Travis's story shifts from a cold-blooded nightmare to a hopeful tale of alien contact in the spirit of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So, how does Fire in the Sky hold up to other alien abduction movies? It's a mixed bag. It's not as strange as Communion or as creepy as The Fourth Kind, and its plot and characters aren't nearly as intriguing as in Nope or Taken. It is well directed with strong lead performances, an unsettling score, and imaginative special effects by the Industrial Light Magic team. The film delivers a heartfelt and respectful take on the source material and never treat Travis like he's crazy or out to make money off his claims. But the abrupt conclusion leaves too much up in the air and robs viewers of a satisfying emotional payoff. Fire in the Sky is a fun, though flawed film that adequately commemorates one of ufology's most iconic cases. It finesses the line between truth and fantasy, retelling Travis Walton's story with notes of terror and cosmic wonder. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the movie in the comments below, and please let me know what movies would you like to see me review on UFO Movie Club. Thanks for watching.